Hello and welcome to another video in the World of Work series. This is another episode of the Interview With series. And today I am Joe and I am an Events and Hub Coordinator at Pathways. And I have another student with me here to talk about their experiences of being at university and studying on a course and what kind of skills goes along with that. And today, so I'd like to introduce you to Zamzam.
Hi everyone, I'm Zamzam. I'm a student ambassador with Pathways.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Zamzam. So as I said, hopefully this will give you a wonderful insight into Zamzam and kind of her experiences at university, and hopefully build your confidence and kind of make you aware of the various different options for you. So without further ado, we're going to get started with the interview. So the first question is just, Zamzam, what course are you doing and where are you studying?
So I'm currently studying Aerospace Engineering and I'm in my third year and I'm studying at the University of Leicester.
Perfect. And kind of, what got you to studying that sort of course? Did you go from A levels or did you go to college? What sort of subjects did you take in order to get here? And also why?
Yeah, so my path to my degree is kind of unconventional, I would say. I started off doing A levels in biology, chemistry, and maths because I was planning to do a medical degree. But last minute, I kind of realized that it wasn't for me. So I was kind of like confused as to what I should do, which is why I kind of decided to take a gap year. And because I really loved maths and I just love like making things and like solving problems. I looked into engineering and I kind of found that it was literally like the perfect course for me. And the funny thing is, like, I remember one of my math tutor, he was a civil engineer. He kind of introduced like engineering to me and was like, you should look into it. And I was completely like against it because I really didn't know what it was about. But then it kind of just shows like you should be open to like things like you might not really have a like good idea on until you do like further research on it, and that's exactly like what happened to me. So yeah, that's how I kind of came up with the decision, and I haven't regretted it since.
No, I think that's fantastic. The fact that, yeah, you've been able to be so brave and step into something that is, quite unknown, because engineering you don't do at all at school. Like, yes, you've got the various different types of engineering and you perhaps touch on it in certain topics in certain subjects, but really it's something completely different. So the fact that kind of you took that gap year to sort of allow yourself time to think about it, I think that's amazing. So and do you think that sort of was the real crucial thing by taking the gap year? Was that kind of the thing that helped the most?
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for the gap year, because obviously, like when you're applying to university, you have to do it like the year earlier before you start uni. So during that moment, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So taking that gap year allowed me to take that time to kind of research different courses that I might be interested in, even if it sounded like very like outlandish. Just kind of like looking into it is really what got me into, yeah. So I definitely would agree that it is the gap year that helped me decide what I wanted to do.
No, that's fantastic. And yeah, it just shows you that, yeah, it's great if you've got it planned out from the beginning, but not everybody does, and it's okay. And hopefully, like, this kind of interview with series will kind of highlight that in the sense that, it is okay to be unsure of what it is that you want to do. And hopefully these kind of videos can help people understand what different courses are out there, what different jobs are out there, rather than just, the ones that you get at school. It's not, university isn't just school moved up to a little bit of a higher level. There is so much more. So
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. And so part of that, and studying your course, I imagine that you've learned so many new skills. What kind of skills have you developed throughout studying your course?
So I would say the main skill that I've learned is teamwork and how to like work within a team. So during my second year, I was part of a project where I had to build a rover, and with that, it came a lot of like collaboration with different types of people, and it is really like interesting to see because obviously with like college, you don't really get the opportunity like to collaborate on a project. So and I actually find that really fun, like basically contributing to a like larger piece of work and then at the end seeing like the final product. So that's something that I really enjoyed, and something that I wasn't really exposed to at college. Another skill that I would say that I have developed is creativity. Believe it or not, I feel like with like an engineering degree, people would see it as a very like technical, like STEM kind of course. But because you're like kind of creating something, you do have to be creative and sometimes like think out of the box. And there's a lot of things that you would come across that maybe you haven't like learned in your modules. So you kind of have to be creative with that and just like come up with anything basically. Yeah, so those are the two main skills I'd say that I've developed.
No, that's fantastic. You built a robot. That's insane.
Uh, yeah, sorry, I meant a planetary rover.
Oh,
So it's
planetary rover.
basically, yeah, so it's kind of like, do you know, like the Mars rover that they sent out to Mars? It's similar to that. Obviously, we wouldn't be like launching or anything, but it's kind of like, I guess, giving us that experience that you would get when you get into industry. And yeah, and it was also like a competition. So at the end of like our project, like every group would compete and there would be like a winner. So it had that competitive element, which is like really fun, I would say.
But that's still, amazing. And
Yeah,
I wish I could do something like that. That sounds incredible. And yeah,
it
something
is.
that you definitely wouldn't have done sort of at secondary school, even college, to sort of that high level is amazing. So I'm very jealous. I wish that I could have done something like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you do an engineering degree, then that's a plus. You get to do a project. So yeah.
No, definitely. But I think that, the important thing that you touched on was the skills. And, yeah, something as important as teamwork seems obvious, but it's actually such an important skill. And the fact that you've said that you've learned a lot about it, by going to university, because, do you feel it's going to really help you in the future by sort of developing this team working skill?
Yeah, definitely.
That's superb. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. I think that's just,
No
still can't
problem.
believe you've built your own robot. What, rover robot, what,
Yeah, yeah.
and then, if for the students that watching this and they're sort of interested in applying, what is the one piece of advice that you would like them to know about your course before they start applying?
Um, so one thing I would say is an engineering degree is very like technical. So obviously, like you would have to be like good at, I wouldn't say good at, but you would have to enjoy like the maths and sciences to an extent. I know a lot of people specifically might not enjoy maths, but I don't think that's like specifically a problem because you could use softwares and stuff. So as long as you're willing to work towards it, then I think you should be fine. Yeah, you should be fine. And yeah, that's the main thing I would say. Yes. Sorry,
No,
I just had a bit of a brain freeze.
that's fine, don't worry. But it sounds like it's very much similar into, perhaps your physics lessons in sort of, back at school, where you'll be given a lot of the formulas and sort of equations in order to do a lot of the working out. Is that kind of fair to say?
Yeah, with me actually, I didn't do physics at A levels, which was quite. I would say it was challenging, but it was definitely doable. A lot of the physics that we did cover was kind of we were taught that from scratch in our first year. So, but yeah, I would say definitely it is the same where you get like formulas provided to you, and you kind of just have to know how to apply that, and then yeah, and you also learn a bit of coding as well. So if you're into that
Coding as
then
well.
you get exposed to that and you also get exposed to like design, so you use like design softwares and you get to design different parts. So I think a lot of students actually enjoy that because it is a more like fun side of doing stuff because you get to like design stuff, I guess. It's more
No,
like the creative stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it definitely sounds like an amazing course. And that kind of, do you enjoy your course? Is it worth all this, which I'm sure is, a lot of hard work? It sounds like a very technical course, but has it been worth it so far?
Yeah, for me, I'm really into like space exploration, and I want to like get into like the space industry in the future. So for me, it is definitely something I see as worth it because obviously I'm like working towards that like career that I hopefully want to get, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. And
Yeah.
that, you know, brings me perfectly to my final question to you. And it's like, you know, come finishing your degree, you've just said that, you know, you want to get into, you know, the space industry, but what specifically, what specific job would you like to see yourself doing in the future?
I think I'm not really sure on that at the moment. There's a few different different types of like roles that I would like to get into, but because I haven't had the opportunity to actually work yet, I don't know exactly what I would like. But I would say maybe systems engineering, because that kind of you get like experience in like every kind of role. It's kind of like a role where you get to oversee everything. So you get to work with different types of teams and stuff. So I think for now I would say that, but I haven't made my mind up yet. And I think that's fine. Like you don't really need to know exactly what you want to do. Like I think this could go for students as well who want to like who don't know what course they want to take at uni. Like a lot of people don't really know what they're doing like in the future. So I feel like the main thing you should do is probably just what you enjoy at that moment, and then life will just kind of work itself out from there. So yeah,
No, I think that's a perfect message. Yeah, it's completely fine that, you know, you don't need to have it locked down, finished, you know, what number one job, it's either that or nothing. I think that's
yeah,
perfectly understandable. But, you know, it sounds like a fantastic opportunity, and I really do hope that you get into the space industry, because wow, you know, what an industry to get into. Could we,
I
you
hope
know,
so too.
possibly even an astronaut, or maybe not
Maybe the next Twin
maybe.
Peak.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, I'll keep
but
my
that would
fingers
be
crossed for you.
really cool.
That
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, that would be, and to be able to say like, yeah, I interviewed a future astronaut, that would have been
Stop it.
incredible. So if you could make it happen and make my dream happen to say, yeah, I interviewed a future astronaut, then that would be
Yeah.
incredible. So, but that's all from me. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today, Zamzam. And you know, it's been really interesting to hear about your course. And you know, I wish you the best of luck with your studies. And fingers crossed you do sort of keep progressing and make it into the space
Yeah.
program, maybe even an astronaut, but certainly like being
Hopefully.
even just, you know, an engineer would be fantastic. And I think there'll be a lot of people out there very jealous that you're doing such a really cool thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you for interviewing me, Joe. It was lovely talking to you.
My pleasure. And so thank you to you guys for spending the time to watch and listen to this interview with episode. Hopefully you found it really useful, and you've found a little bit about Zamzam and about her university experience. If it's something that you want to find out more about, then please do your research into the courses that are on offer at university. You know, check out the Pathways website to see what else is happening, and also see the other episodes that we have in our interview with series. But apart from that, that's everything from us. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye bye.
See you guys. Bye.